So starting off with the defense tactic, I'm going to reduce the cooldown of Shield Blast. This is just going to allow me to get aggro on mobs a bit better. I'm going to do it on the challenge, just so I can use it on anybody trying to Invuln cap. You can actually use the challenge to taunt them off the flag, regardless if they have Solid Will, or they're switching stances, or they have a Mage Shield up. That you can actually taunt them off the flag, regardless of that. Next, I'm going to go over to the Overpower. Again, I'm going to go for the cooldown reduction. And that's because in this tree you have Encouraging Shout. Encouraging Shout is going to be your heal for your party and raid and stuff like that. So, you know, a lot of people don't know the 20%. It says it buffs your party for 20% of that caster's max health. It's actually like a heal. Let's say Armite in my group right now, dude. Let's say he was 7k and I use this Encouraging Shout. He's actually going to go up to about like 9.8k, and the Encouraging Shout goes off after 2 seconds, and he's going to be healed back up to that 9k. Whatever is left over from the Encouraging Shout up to the player's max health is restored. It is just given back to the player. So again, that's how you can use it as a heal and stuff like that. I'm actually going to spec into the Vitality for just a bit more healing from that, and I'm pretty much done with this right here. I'm going to go save that. Actually, defense tactic, I'm going to go 3 points into the reflection, just because when I'm capping a flag, Invuln capping a dude, they're all focusing, they're all targeting me, and you know that's just going to put some more damage on them as they're targeting me. Um, so Encouraging Shout, again, I'm in the endurance tactic now, I'm just kind of finishing this up here. We're going to go cooldown reduction, Encouraging Shout. Again, this is our heal for the party raid. Next, I'm looking at swift defense, just because I'm going to be going down this tree right here. We're going to be using the swift defense, and you know what? We're going to give the extra shield defense chance. This is just going to give us 5% more block applied to the already, I think, 15% block that it gives right now. So that's another 20% block right there. We're coming down to Protector. Protector gives you 30% damage taken reduced and a block rate of 30% for 4 seconds. So when you complete this treatment, you're pretty fucking beefy, you're pretty tanky. It's definitely good for PvE, and it's good for PvP if you're fighting a melee caster. You know, in your Invuln spec, you're not here to do damage in this spec. You're here to cap flags, heal your party, and just be overall pretty fucking annoying. So you know, I'm gonna go the shield defense chance, and we're gonna increase that by 8, and it's gonna give us 38% shield block rate, and that's pretty good. That's a 79% damage reduction from melee attacks and stuff like that. So we'll go ahead and save that. So, you know, the draw sword, as I demonstrated earlier, and I'll demonstrate again, the draw sword, the nerf that it took from this patch is only applied to charge tactic. All the other tactics are the same. There's nothing, like, if I use it right now, it's going to have like a 7-second cooldown. It's not a 30-second cooldown for the other trees. So, you know, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to hit it with the decreased cooldown. We're going to go shield attack, and then we're going to go shield counter. The reason for this is shield counter, it increases our health points by 5%. This is actually a heal for us. And it's going to put you over whatever you were, and you're going to be healed for that amount after the debuff stops. So for 3 seconds you get that 5%, and if they don't take that 5% away, you're pretty much healed for that 5%. So, you know, let's go ahead and we can actually put an HP recovery. I mean, that'd give us another, like, what would it be? 0.8%, so it'd be 5.8%. You know, we can actually do that, no problem. Let's go ahead and do that. And then let's come over here to the destroy. So the destroy, again, this is another one of those trees that's leading us into the shield counter right here for another heal. So you have 2 heals, 2 self heals right here. So, you know, let's go into the decreased cooldown, and then let's hit it up with a shield counter, and we're actually out of points at this point. I'm gonna go ahead and save this. And yeah, I mean, we should be good here. So the main thing you're going to be doing here is, you know, you're going to be going through these trees. You want to be hitting your Encouraging Shout as much as possible. You want to be hitting the draw sword. You want to be getting to the shield counter for the heal. And you know, you want to get to the destroy, and you want to get your shield counter. Again, you can heal yourself up a lot between these 2 shield counters. Like you can do a lot with them. Not only that, with your encouraging shot, man, you're healing the people around you. You got your defenses right here. When you complete this tree, you're actually, you're gonna get you're gonna get another. I think it is from right here. Yeah, you get a defense effect right here, man. And you also have the swift defense that you're getting from the destroy chain right here, man. And again, that's another block rate. That's another physical and magical defense increase. You're a pretty tanky motherfucker from this shit. Like I call it my Invuln spec for a reason. There's not much that kills me in this spec. It takes a lot of people to kill me in this spec. So with that done, I've pretty much spec'd into what I want to spec into as far as the stance chain skills. Let's head on over to the non-chain skills. So here we are. We're in the non-chain skills. Let's start off with you have obtain bravery. I don't use this in any of my builds. You can get bravery pretty easily. Like, I'm in endurance tactic right now. If you want bravery from endurance tactic, all you have to do is pop this encouraging shout. This will actually give you 2 bravery right off the back. It's pretty much the same thing as obtain bravery, just a 6-second cooldown instead of a 15-second cooldown. And it's already your base skill. You're gonna be using it anyway, so you can pop that right off the back, and you can actually put that into a solid will right off the back as well, or a leap or anything you want to put it into really. Um, Next you have leap. I have leap in all of my builds just because it helps me get to places, and not only that, your leap can stop an invuln cap. Um, like if you leap on somebody, regardless of whether they have solid will up, regardless of whether they're stance swapping or anything like that, your leap will stop the invuln cap. So that's another thing to take into effect. I still don't put any skills or anything like that into this, but next let's go into Guardian's Faith. This is your immune. This is your invulnerability. It's very important. It will help you rotate your skills a bit better, and it will definitely give you a lot of survivability. So with this, I've heard of a lot of people doing a lot of different things with it. You can increase, the damage reduction of your party and everything like that. But man, I go with the bottom tree. I go with the straight up decreased cooldown, because I want to be able to use this as much as possible when I'm going to cap things. It's pretty much my get out of CC survive tactic. I can keep rotating this, and then I can keep rotating my stance invulns. And with that, dude, I can normally get like 3 attempts in to try to invuln cap a flag. And so, if I do this, dude, it's gonna bring my cooldown of the Guardian's Faith to 22 seconds, down from 30 seconds. And again, we can use this 3 times. This 3 charges, and I'm going to go ahead and save that one. Next we have Iron Will. This is pretty much a heal for you. Again, it works the other way. The max health points work. It gives you that boost over your health, and then you pretty much keep whatever's left over. So with the Iron Will, I'm gonna go just into this first stage right here. It's going to increase the cooldown by 10 seconds, but it's also going to give me 40% HP. So the idea of this is that it's a 60-second cooldown already. Honestly, the fight isn't going to last 60 seconds, or they're probably going to get annoyed and just get off you. And again, you have other heals. This is your heal just in case something happens. Like if something's going wrong and you need to get that heal out, this is your heal pretty much. This is your way to keep yourself going. So we're going to save into that. After that, we're going to come over to the solid will, or, let me go over counter. I don't use counter. I've seen a couple other people using counter. You get the physical defense and stuff like that, but I'm not going to use counter. I'm not going to put it down there. So, there's really not much to go over here. Like, you can get some stuff. It's a 9-second cooldown. I just I just don't see where I'd put it compared to other things. And I'm looking through it. There's some good stuff here. It's an again 9-second cooldown, 10% damage reduction. How long does it last? I don't know. Like, I just don't. I just don't see a use for it. And I've seen other people doing it, and I'm just not going to use it this time. Solid Will. This is your immunity to crowd control and stuff like that. It's also it also absorbs damage. You use it for invuln cap too, and for this, you have a couple different things you can go. If you go this top tree, the last time I did it, it was actually bugged, and your solid will, um, like it just wasn't working properly. So I'd be careful with that. Um, I mean, you can go this way, and it's going to increase the lasting time of solid will, which will give you a little bit more invuln cap and stuff like that. But I actually think this time around I'm going to go ahead and go with the solid will enhancement middle stages. I was previously going with the damage reduction, but I don't think I'm gonna need it because if I'm invuln capping or in a Ravy raid setting, I'm gonna be getting heals, and I'd rather have the lasting effect of the crowd control reduction, and it'll allow me to play a little bit more into my invuln capping and everything like that. So I am gonna switch up, and I am gonna go down the middle tree right here with solid will. So guys, those are my non-chain skills. Um, this is what I use. There's people who use all different ones, but this is how I do it. Next I have the ability tree. We'll go over this real quick and make this real fast. It's pretty easy. There's really not much to here. You of course get your four basic things right here. These are just easy standard buffs. Next, you have a couple different ways you can go. You can go into the attack, fighting power, and stuff like that for more damage. You have some defense here, and you have some defense up here. And since this build is more of an invuln tanky build and stuff like that, we don't need that fighting power. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna go ahead, get our 10% damage reduction, and then we're going to go ahead and get our dodge. This dodge is actually going to give you about 4% extra dodge, which will just kind of make you tankier in PvE, PvP, stuff like that. Other than that, we have physical and magical defense right here. Let's go ahead and pick those up. Let's pick up the health recovery 5%, the stability 20, and the dodge 40. This is my standard, tanky and Vaughn build. This is what I use for this build. There's just not much to go over. You got your 10% damage reduction. You got your dodge. You got more dodge here. You got your vitalities right here for increased health. You get your strength, and then you also have your defenses right here. It also gives you a bit of hit. I'm trying to right here. Again, this is more dodge. You got your stability. There's just not much to go over here. But this is how I do it for this tanky build. Other than that, this is just specking it over and stuff like that. Stay tuned for the other video where I'll actually go into the skills and everything like that, how I tank different mobs, look for the PvE builds if you're looking for how to tank the dungeons, how to keep aggro and stuff like that. And I also have a separate video for how to do the invuln spec and PvP and stuff like that. So this is just going over the tactics and changing everything around. As you can see, my health is bugged. That's because I did the tactic reset, but my health is actually like 14,900 or something like that. So yeah, let me know if you have any questions regarding that.